poppin' besties? It's your girl J Monroe, and I'm back at it again with another video. So as y'all can tell by the title, today we're gonna be doing another like sit down, get ready with me, chit chat type of video. I'm about to do my makeup. I'm still debating on if I want to do a full face or just like my kind of like eyebrows, a little bit of concealer, and you know, lip gloss, lashes, and call it a day. I just installed this wig. This wig is from RinaHair, an Amazon company. They sent me this gorgeous colored wig. It's so pretty, and like y'all know, colored hair just does it for me every time. Like I like black, like I like the simple black look, but it's nothing like just having some color. Like I just feel like it just gives me that extra like oomph, like it just gives me that extra pop. Like it fits my personality and everything. This hair color reminds me of like red velvet cheesecake or like a red velvet cupcake or something. Like it's very pretty. I've actually seen like this style, like this color style kind of like on TikTok and like Instagram and everything. So I'm wanting to try it out, and it's definitely super cute. Like I'm loving it. I just installed it, so I just got to do the edges and everything. Right now I'm just letting the elastic band sit on while I do my makeup so that I could, you know, make sure that joint's on there, like get this lace melted. But so starting on my brows, I'm using all of the Morphe brow products from their brow kit or whatever. And for today's girl chat, like, or chit chat, whatever you want to call it, I basically wanted to talk about like setting boundaries and raising your standards, because I feel like going into 2023, that is something that a lot of us, including me, definitely need to start working on. As usual, I have all my little bullet points or whatever written down on my phone, so if y'all see me looking down at my phone, just know that that's what I'm doing. But basically, I feel like this year is just really important to start raising your standards and setting boundaries, especially if you want to like level up and they just take your life to the next level. There's always like lash glue on my eye. I don't know why that always happens to me, but I feel like a lot of times as women, we tend to have lower standards than what we probably really should, or not really, you know, set clear boundaries or like take setting boundaries seriously, because we don't know our worth. And then when you don't know your worth, you don't know your power, you don't know like what you're really supposed to be doing, then how are you gonna carry yourself in a way or be able to like know how others should treat you or what you should be getting from other people when somebody's crossing a line, you know, just things like that. I feel like when you don't know your worth, it leaves you in a space where you don't know like your own value. That's pretty, knowing your value and knowing your worth is pretty much the same thing, but I'm about to break it down. Meaning you don't know how valuable your time and your energy is. Like your energy is very, very important. When I say your energy is important, I literally mean your energy. Like what you decide to put your energy into is very important. What you spend your time focusing on and thinking about is very important. I'm saying that to say that you can't give everybody your time. You know, not everybody deserves all of your time. You know, there's only 24 hours in a day, and how you choose to spend that 24 is going to be the difference in you being successful and you not being successful, you getting what you want out of life and you not getting what you want out of life. So if you feel like you've been in a space where you've been stuck and you just haven't really been able to like make any progress or like take your life to the next level, it's probably because you're not setting boundaries and because your standards are very low at this moment. Because that used to be me. Like I used to be the type of person that didn't really know my boundaries were, didn't really know how to set boundaries and keep them, didn't really know like what I wanted out of, whether it be relationships, friendships, or anything. I just didn't know how to properly set my boundaries, and it's very important. And another reason why it's important to make sure that you have boundaries is because when you don't like have boundaries, people lose respect for you. People slowly but surely, definitely surely will lose respect for you, whether it be like somebody you're in a relationship with, one of your friends. And sometimes people don't even do it cautiously. It's just people will only respect you as much as you respect yourself. I'm sorry, y'all, I can't really look at the camera because it's like I gotta get these brows together. Like, your brows make or break the whole look. But I'm using the Morphe brow pomade to just kind of fill it in. As I was saying, people lose respect for people who do not have boundaries. I mean, well, people lose respect for people who do not have boundaries, but I meant to say people lose respect for people who do not have standards. Like, that's why it's important to, before you like raise the standards you have for like other people in your life, or the standards you have for like people that you allow to come into your life, you have to raise your standards to yourself to match what you're trying to require from other people. You get what I'm saying? So like, let's say if you decide, oh, like one of my standards is, you know, like I want a man that's in shape, he's super muscular, he's super toned, his body's perfect, he goes to the gym all the time. But it's like, do you go to the gym all the time? Are you eating healthy? Are you working out? Are you taking care of yourself? You can't require something of somebody else that you're not even requiring for yourself. I feel like people feel like raising your standards just means like deciding that, oh, from now on I'm only gonna talk to rich niggas and blah 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 blah. And it's like, no, that's not what it means. You have to raise your standards, the standard that you uphold for yourself as well as the standard that you require other people to uphold. You know what I'm saying? And then people will like subconsciously, a lot of times people will start to respect the standard you have set based on like the way you carry yourself, the way you handle yourself, how you speak, how you handle yourself in public. Like, imagine when you go over somebody's house for the first time, right? And imagine that like it is like the cleanest house you've ever seen. Everything's super neat, nothing is out of place. Like, it is just spick and span perfect. Like, there is not a misplaced anything in sight. I'm over exaggerating, of course, but just imagine that for a minute. Where's my brow pencil? Hold on, guys. Here we go. When you're in that person's house, you're gonna respect it. You know, you're not just gonna go and leave dishes in the sink because you see that like that's not what's going on. You see that that's not the way that this person is keeping their space. You get what I'm saying? Whereas if you go to somebody's house and you see that like it's stuff everywhere, their clothes are everywhere, you're probably not going to be as cautious of the way that you're doing things. It's the same thing with setting your standards. That's what I'm talking about. People respect things and places who have standards. People respect other people who have standards. Alright, I'm going in with my Huda Beauty concealer just to like carve out the eyebrow. You also need to raise your standards when it comes to your friends. Yep, I said it. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's true. And now I'm about to explain why. Because you know the saying, like, you are who you hang around, and like birds of a feather flock together. It is all very, 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 very true. And I used to think that stuff like that was like such BS. Like, when people say that to me, I'll be like, what do you mean? Like, no matter who I hang around, I'm still my own person. But it's true. 9 times out of 10, you're the sum of the 5 people that you hang around the most. So the reason why it's important to like really pick and choose who you spend your time with wisely, as I said earlier, is because it's very important that the people you're around constantly, like majority of, not majority of the day, but like majority of the week, the people that you're hanging around with or talking to on the phone or like seeing at school, whatever the case may be, that you guys are like stimulating each other, because somebody is either helping you or they're holding you back. I hate to say it, but it's true. So if you're trying to like move forward in life and grow and like really just get on your grind, honestly, you have to make sure that you're around people who are on the same type of time as you. You have to be around people who are trying to do the same thing. You feel me? Because it's like, if you're growing and you're growing and you're growing and it's like everybody else around you is just staying the same, eventually there's gonna be a gap. It's gonna be a gap between y'all. Y'all mindsets are gonna change. You're gonna look up and you're gonna realize you have less in common with the people around you. So the only way to close that gap is either you come down or they come up. And we not going down, so you're gonna have to like learn to leave people where they're at. And it's okay, not everybody in your life is meant to be in your life for forever, you know. Some people are here for, what's the saying, some people are here for something else, some people are here for a season, but everybody's in your life for a reason. Just understand that like they've serve their purpose in your life. Appreciate the memories that you guys share together, but know that you probably can't hang out with them as much as you are used to. When you're around your friends, if all you guys talk about is like drama and boys and like what's going on the internet and just a bunch of pointless stuff or stuff that's really not benefiting you in any way, and I'm not saying like you could never talk about that. Like, of course, every once in a while it's cool for y'all to like, you know, spill some tea, talk some shit. That's okay, but like every time y'all talk, y'all are never talking about like business ideas, making money, plans, goals, aspirations. Like, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Your mind's not being elevated. You're not helping yourself in any way, shape, or form by doing that. And just as important as it is to raise your standards with like who you decide to be friends with, you need to raise your standards with who you decide to date. Like, with who you decide to let take you out on a date, who you decide to talk to, who you decide to be in a relationship with, because the wrong partner can screw your life up so badly. Like, I'm not even joking. Being with the wrong person, it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for you at all. Be sure that when you're dating, you like take your time, because if you're the type to like rush things, like rush into having sex and rush into doing a bunch of things, it'll give off to the guy that you're talking to that you have very low standards. Like, I hate to say it, but I'm 9 times out of 10 having sex on the first date and just doing different things like that, it gives off to men that you have low standards, or that you have, sorry, he's texting me. When you move things too fast, or you just don't have any type of standard, like you're just okay with doing anything. You're okay with him calling you whenever he wants and then just ghosting you for 3 days, or you're okay with not going on dates and just going over his house to smoke and chill or do whatever. It shows that you have a low level of self-respect. And if you're giving off that you have a low level of self-respect, then nobody's really going to respect you. Nobody's really going to take you seriously. Stop just linking up with the guy that you're talking to without him taking you on a date. Like, that just gives off the wrong message, because what he's going to be thinking in his head, even if this is a guy that you really like, and I know sometimes as girls you don't want to seem too like needy, you don't want to come off as bougie or anything like that, but I promise you it's not bougie, it's not being extra, it's not being over the top, it's just having standards. Like, it is okay with letting a guy know, like, hey, I don't link up with people on the first time we hang out. Like, you're gonna have to take me on a date. That was way too much concealer. Hopefully I could blend this out. Sorry, my camera turned off, but it's okay with like letting them know you're gonna have to take me on a date. Like, I'm not just gonna come over your house so that we can hang out and not do anything, because that takes no effort. Literally, it takes no effort for him to do that. It takes 0 to no effort for you to sit at his house and watch Netflix. Like, what has he done? What has he done? And it's like, now because you didn't set your standard, you didn't set the standard from the beginning, now if you do start dating him, it is going to be so hard. It's gonna feel like pulling teeth to get him to take you on a date, because you didn't require it from the beginning. So maybe in the beginning he was all for taking you out, he was all for buying you flowers, he was all for taking you on trips and stuff, but it's like, now that you show him like, oh, she fine with just coming over the house and not doing anything, why would he take you out? Why would he go the extra mile to make you happy? Because you've shown him that you're happy with the bare minimum. Stop settling for the bare minimum. You're not a bare minimum female. Raise your standards. Understand. This is way too much concealer. I'm gonna just wipe it off. Okay. But yeah, what was I saying? Stop settling for the bare minimum with anybody. You are worth so much more than that. So much more. And hold on 1 second. I'm gonna try to use this contour, and hopefully it's not like too dark. I really hope this contour isn't too dark. Like, contouring is honestly slowly but surely become the hardest part for me. Okay, back to what I was saying. I had to get the nose contour together. So the last like little tip or tidbit, like little tip thing I have, is to become very clear on what your boundaries are. The main reason why you're probably not setting boundaries is because you truthfully probably might not even know what your boundaries are. Like, take some time to really sit with yourself. Shoot, even write them down if you have to, and just decide like, okay, this is what I'm okay with, this is what I'm not okay with, this is what I will tolerate, this is what I will not tolerate. Whether it be a relationship, a friendship, with family members, sit down and decide, these are the things that I am okay with. It could be something as simple as like, let's say you hate touching your hair. I mean, you hate like people touching your hair. Decide that, okay, I'm not gonna let people touch my hair. And the boundaries that you decide to set do not have to make sense to anybody in your life but you. They're called your boundaries for a reason. So if you feel like this is a boundary that you have, and this is a boundary that you need to set, and this is something that you cannot tolerate anymore, that's fine. No matter how simple it may seem, or how, like, I guess unimportant it may seem to other people, it's important to you. So who's to tell you that that's not something that you can't be serious about? I'm gonna just let this bake while I finish talking to you guys. And don't let people try to like guilt you into, I guess, changing your boundaries. Like, if you decided that like you don't like when people invite you to things last minute just because it throws off your schedule, and that's just not something, I don't know, I'm just making something up off the top of my head. Don't let people try to guilt you into changing that, or don't change your boundaries just because somebody tries to convince you to. If you're gonna change something, it should be because of the circumstances you decided to, not because somebody else got in your head and like kind of tried to convince you to. You get what I'm saying? Because we all know, you could probably think of somebody in your life that you know, or maybe you've been this person that just had no boundaries. Like, they never said no. Every time somebody needed something, they jumped up and did it no matter what they had going on. The type of person to just drop everything and do for other people. And even though, you know, usually these tend to be nice people, what ends up happening, usually the people in their life end up taking advantage of them, because they know, oh, I could call this person and they're always gonna come running to try to help me, or I could da-da-da-da, and this person is always gonna be there. And you don't want to be that person for somebody else. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to be the person that people start to take advantage of. Stand on your boundaries, like, clearly and firmly. Don't be that one person that's like, don't be the type of person to kind of like laugh it off when you're telling somebody that you don't want them to do something, because then that sends off like a clear message, like, I mean an unclear message. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to like make something up. Like, oh, I'm gonna go back to like the touching hair thing. Like, if you don't like people touching your hair and somebody is just like, oh, like they just come up to you, and you know how girls be like, oh, hey, like, you know, your hair is so pretty, oh my god, oh my god. Like, don't be like, like, yeah, thank you, but can you not touch it? Like, say it firmly so then people know that you're serious. And you don't have to do it in a way that's like being mean or being rude or anything like that, but just be like, hey, like, I know you don't know this about me, but I do not like people touching my hair, so please don't touch my hair, you know? You don't have to say it like super mean or anything. I feel like a lot of times people don't set their boundaries and stand clear on them because you don't want it to come off like you're being rude, or you're being mean, or you're being extra, or anything like that. And that was pretty much the last like little tip that I have for you guys. I'm pretty much done. Woo. Our makeup is almost done. I'm just put my lashes on, and I'm really only about to put these on because they're already like cut to fit my eyes, so I know it's going to be so much easier. But y'all already know where the lashes are from. I shouldn't even have to tell y'all. J. Monroe Beauty. Shop with me if you haven't already. I'm wearing our lashes in the style Pussycat. This is honestly my favorite pair. That's the end of our chit chat, you guys. I hope that this was helpful to anybody that needed to hear it. Like, let me know in the comments if you struggle with setting boundaries, if you've ever struggled with having lower standards. Comment down below what other topics y'all would like me to do, because I'm really starting to like doing these type of videos. So let me know if there's any other topics that y'all want me to talk about, because I will definitely do that for y'all. Like, I feel like these videos give like, I don't know, like big sister vibes, and I kind of like it.